Hi, everyone. This is Pastor Ken Maxey. Welcome to the devotional for Tuesday, December the 28th. Can you believe we are in the last week of the year 2021? It's going to be a beautiful day today. I am coming from you. It looks like I'm coming to you from the beach, but I am actually sitting at my desk. I thought I would try pre-recording this video and see how it went. Hopefully it works out okay. But I hope that you had a wonderful Christmas time and you are looking forward to New Year's celebration. I know that's happening in just a few days, and a lot of you will be gathering around with your family and friends, and I hope you have a good time. I have a couple of New Year's Eve jokes for you. Here you go. Knock, knock. Who's there? Abby. Abby who? Abby New Year. How about this? Why did the man start making breakfast at midnight on New Year's Eve? So he could have a New Year's toast. I know these are really bad. A lady had taken a nap on New Year's Eve afternoon, and she had been dreaming of a big diamond. When she woke up, she asked her boyfriend what he thought that meant, and he said, "Oh, wait till tonight and you'll find out." So when the stroke of midnight happened, he presented to her a small little gift. She opened it up, and inside of it was a book that said the meaning of dreams. All right, that was really bad. Anyway, hey, we are. The last time we left off was the Hebrews had just crossed the Red Sea. They were standing on the other side. A new nation had been born, and now what do they do from here? Okay, so while Israel was a nation, they were a nation without a land. They had a great leader in Moses. And it had an identity. They were known as the Hebrews, which I found out that Hebrew comes from the verb abar, which means to pass over or pass through, which that's very appropriate, being that, first of all, there was a Passover plague, and then secondly, they passed through the Red Sea. So it makes sense that they would be called Hebrews after the word abar. Then there's a noun that's derived from that called eber, and it describes what you end up after you pass through. After you do the verb abar, aber is the noun. You are now aber. So the word Hebrew, they had an identity, they had a leader. All they needed now was a place that they could call home. And so in Exodus 15, verses 22 through 27, we read about the Hebrews making their journey to the land of Canaan. And it says, "So Moses brought Israel from the Red Sea. Then they went out into the wilderness of Shur, and they went 3 days in the wilderness and found no water. Now when they came to Marah, they could not drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Therefore the name of it was called Marah, or Mara. And the people complained against Moses, saying, 'What shall we drink?' So he cried out to the Lord, and the Lord showed him a tree. When he cast it into the waters were made sweet. There he made a statute and an ordinance for them, and there he tested them, and said, 'If you diligently heed the voice of the Lord your God, and do what is right in his sight, give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you which I have brought on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord who heals you.' Then they came to Elim, where there were 12 wells of water and 70 palm trees, so they camped there by the waters." Okay, so what we see here is that from Exodus chapter 15, verse 21, or in 22, we read that Moses leads the Israelites on a 3-day journey into the wilderness just beyond the Red Sea. This is not your typical route that you would take from the land of Goshen to the land of Canaan. Normally you would either take the northern route or you would take the southern route, but not directly through the Red Sea. Now, the northern route, the Philistines were guarding, and that would definitely bring battles. If you were going the southern route, you would probably come upon the Egyptian army posts that were out there. And so they wanted to avoid that. That's why God took them directly through the Red Sea and into the wilderness. But as a result of going through the wilderness, they face their first setback when they come to the place of Mara. If you recall, as they were leaving the land of Goshen, the land of Egypt, the Egyptians gave them a bunch of gold, a bunch of silver, a bunch of supplies. I'm sure they filled up with water. But as they were leaving, the Egyptians were giving them all this stuff. But one of the things that they needed to replenish from time to time was the water. And even though they had just left the Red Sea, apparently they were running out of water. And so when we get to verse 24, it says that the people started to grumble and they began to ask Moses, what are we going to drink? We're out here in the wilderness. What are we going to drink? It'd be like standing by. It's kind of ironic that they just left this large body of water, and now they were becoming thirsty. It'd be like if I was actually standing on the beach behind me, and I was really thirsty, but I couldn't drink any of the water because it was salty. And that's what they ran into when they came to Mara, was that the water was very bitter to the point where it was not drinkable. And so they began to complain. And they began to crumble. And, every time I read this passage, I often think about, really, you just, you've only been on your journey for 3 days and you're already starting to grumble. And you've seen what the Lord did. He did all the miraculous plagues upon the nation of Egypt. And he kept the Israelites, protected them from all the afflictions. And now you're out here in the wilderness, and 3 days into the journey, you're already complaining, and you're already doubting that God can take care of you. And so I always read that passage thinking about that. But, the fact of the matter is that you and I do the same things, right? We'll go through this tremendous time where God will either deliver us or provide for us or protect us. And we are celebrating it. We are amazed at God. And then it's a few days later that something will happen. Something will come up in our lives that causes stress and worry. And we begin to grumble, and we even begin to kind of doubt that God is watching over us and protecting us. We do it all the time. And I was just thinking about as we are coming out of the Christmas time, where we had a great time of, probably you got together with family, you got to spend times eating food together, opening gifts, singing carols, all these things. These are wonderful times. But then when all that is done, there's usually this vacuum of emotions that fill your life where there's not that automatic joy of Christmas in your heart. And a lot of times what fills that vacuum is loneliness, despair, bitterness, just emotions that are negative. And so this is where we have to remember the salvation of God and the Word of God in our lives, because we know that those things bring joy and sweetness into our lives. We're told in Exodus 15, verse 25, that when the people came up against this time, when they got to Mara and the water was bitter, that God instructed Moses to cast a tree into the water, and that would cause it to be drinkable. And in faith, Moses did that. Can you imagine that? You're leading these people, and all of a sudden you realize God is telling me to put a tree in the water. We all know it's bitter. We've never seen a tree cause bitter water to become sweet. He didn't know what was going to happen, but he did it anyway. He was faithful to God, and he did it, and the water became sweet, it says, and the people were able to drink it. God does nothing out of coincidence, right? There's a reason that he brought his people, the Hebrews, to this bitter water. There's a reason that he told them to cast this tree into the water so that his people could be refreshed. And there is a reason that right after God tells the Israelites to do this, that he gives them this instructions. He says, if you will diligently listen to the voice of the Lord your God, and do that which is right in his eyes, and give ear to his commandments, and keep all his statutes, I will put none of the diseases on you that I put on the Egyptians, for I am the Lord your healer. See, the Lord wanted to bring the people to the point where they understood that he would be their provider, their protector, and their healer. The Hebrew word is Jehovah Rapha. He was their healer. And this is an amazing symbol to you and me, even today. That tree at Marah redeemed the waters for the people to drink. And the tree at Calvary redeems our soul and brings salvation to us. And because Christ was willing to sacrifice himself on the cross, we now have joy through him when all the world has to offer us is bitterness. And as you prepare for this New Year's, I want to encourage you to pick up a Bible devotional, not just the devotional that's kind of on the surface, but one that really has you read the Bible and to study it and to use it once a day in the new year. Our church here at Grace Calvary Chapel, we are offering a 1-year Bible. In fact, we're inviting the whole congregation to purchase this, either a Bible through our church, or you can go and get the app. And we're going to try to read through the Bible together as a church because we know that it's going to offer encouragement. We also have on the fourth Sunday of every month, there's going to be a men's discipleship group and a women's discipleship group that are going to be separate from each other, but they're going to both be meeting at the church, and we're going to have nursery available. But that's going to happen the fourth Sunday of every month, and it's a great way to be accountable. It's a great tool to help alleviate the bitterness that the world tries to put on you and bring the love of God and the sweetness and the joy of his salvation into your heart. So I hope you'll join us for that. Again, it's the 1-year Bible that we are offering at the church. You can purchase it through us, or you can, I think it's $10, or you can get it online. And then there's the fourth Sunday of every month that men and women of all ages are going to meet at the church and participate in a discipleship group. And I hope you'll be a part of it. It could allow you to have a wonderful 2022. So I hope you'll join us for that. Guys, I am about to sign off. I hope you have a terrific Tuesday. It's been great sharing the year 2021 with you, and I look forward to sharing 2022 with you all. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.